So you might remember a couple months back, actually quite a few now, I was working on this 65 here and couldn't figure out why it had such a strong, rich gas odor, and it was burning a lot of fuel that wasn't running just right, seemed to be fouling a bit. Anyway, turns out I took it to somebody who knows more than I do, and turns out the cam shaft was in backwards. So the oil was going straight back into the pan and not necessarily oiling up the valves. So got that fixed. She's back. It's been running great all summer. Did a lot of mowing with it, freed up the PTO. Did really well at that after I got the PTO shifting. I think it just needed to be used. Now since we got a little bit of snow out there, I think it's time to get that blade hooked up, don't you? Alright, fuel on. 2 full turns. Key in. I always keep my key out just for child safety, and it makes it a little more difficult if somebody wants to take off with it. I always do a double click on the ignition and check the lights. Seems like everything's working here. The rear light working. Click those off. Got some juice in the battery. It's pretty cold out, -5 today, so I'm gonna give it probably a bit of choke. Yeah, she hardly needed any to fire there. It's got to be in neutral, of course, because of the safety switch in the transmission. Just like that. So I usually like to set my grader blade to municipal road grade by using the adjustable handle here to raise and lower the pitch, and that way I get a nice graded to the center driveway that drains all the water and doesn't hardly leave any potholes or potential to create potholes. You're going to want to have your angle of your blade adjusted so that most of the stuff mounds up in the middle of the driveway so that you can knock off the cap, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you also want all the debris to roll off it nicely too, so I'm going to adjust that now. knocking the cap off, you just want to turn your blade around, assuming your blade does that, and just drive over the center and keep the blade nice and straight instead of it on an angle.